Facebook has recently set a record for the largest one-day loss the US stock market has ever seen. Hey, this is Chia from Brand24. Welcome to the Social Recap, a rundown of the latest highlights from social media and digital marketing news. So this week's recap sees a growing trend in more high-tech developments among tools and strategies in social media, along with more technical digital updates to products themselves. Starting with Google Home. So Google Home is now letting you schedule routines ahead of time. Earlier this year, Google Assistant rolled out multi-step routines, which let you combine multiple actions with one command. So you could have Google Home dim the lights, adjust the thermostat, and put on some music by giving a single command like, Google, relax. Now users can program a multi-step routine well in advance with the new time and day settings in Google Home. So you can have the lights dimmed, temperature adjusted, and music playing every night at 8 automatically. And BMW is bringing voice search to its vehicles with Amazon's Alexa voice assistant. It's no secret that voice-activated digital assistants have been on their agenda for a while, but it's finally up and running. And the integration will be available in all BMW vehicles produced after March of this year that are running the new 7.0 operating system. So Alexa's integration with BMW goes beyond providing audio responses. When you make a request and Alexa finds any graphs, charts, or other kind of visual information related to your topic, you'll see all of this on display in the screen and the center console inside the car. So it's a little more advanced than the Echo Dot, let's say. Plus, BMW has made sure that they maintain control over the framework by inserting themselves as a middleman between drivers and Alexa. This basically means that when you make a voice request, you're talking to BMW servers first, and then they patch you over to Alexa. This additional step is something that could result in a slight lag between your request and getting an answer, but so far testers have not reported a significant delay, and it's a really clever way to keep the door open for collaboration with other tech companies like, say, Microsoft. And it looks like LinkedIn is giving their app a more high-tech makeover as well. They recently added QR codes to make your user profile easier to find, a translation button that supports over 60 different languages in your feed, and they've now just rolled out voice messaging. So users can record and send voice messages up to 1 minute long on the app. This is currently being rolled out to both Android and iOS users on LinkedIn. Those on desktop, in the meantime, will still be able to receive and listen to voice messages. And now Domino's is arguably more tech-friendly than most pizza chains, being one of the first to let hungry people order pizza through a voice recognition app, by tweeting a pizza emoji on Twitter, and even order pizza just by launching an app without having to click on any buttons. Well, their innovative streak continues, and now they've become the first chain to let people order pizza via augmented reality. Yeah, they're the first pizza chain to let people order pizza using Snapchat's AR lenses. Snap users can play with the filter and use it on their faces to see themselves wearing a pair of sunglasses with pizza in the reflection. But flip the camera over and a floating pizza box will appear on screen in their surroundings. And then they can order a pizza directly from Snapchat. So going high-tech doesn't come cheap though. There is a $500,000 flat rate to advertise on Snapchat's AR lens. Snap estimates that brands can reach between or up to 20 million users and get 40 to 60 million impressions via AR. This puts CPM, or cost per 1,000 impressions, on the pricier side. So it's not for every company, but for those with deep pockets, it's definitely a way to stand out and increase brand awareness, customer engagement, and customer retention rates in a unique and interactive way that's pretty memorable. And now for some less high-tech news. So Facebook has recently set a record for the largest one-day loss the US stock market has ever seen. Just one day after posting less than optimal quarterly results, Facebook stock plummeted by roughly $120 billion. So in less than 24 hours, they went from having a market cap of nearly $630 billion down to $510 billion. That's roughly a 19% decrease. No other company has ever lost this much in just the course of a day in the entire history of the US stock market. Unfortunate, but kind of impressive. Facebook's enormous loss occurred the day after they issued their quarterly report, revealing that they had not reached their expectations for revenue and that their numbers for global daily active users were also on the decline. Not only did this loss set a record in the US stock market, it also was the worst decline in terms of percentage ever experienced in Facebook's own personal history. And just a few days after this financial fiasco with Facebook, Twitter also experienced a 20% drop in market value, very similar to Facebook's loss in terms of percentage, though not in real numbers. This came after Twitter released their own quarterly report, which was both disappointing and outstanding. The disappointing part is reflected in growth in monthly active users, or lack thereof. Twitter lost about 1 million monthly users in the second quarter of this year. Global users pretty much stayed consistent, but US users dropped from 69 down to 68 million. The contradictory outstanding part from their report is seen in their profits. Despite losing a decent amount of monthly active users in the US market, they also experienced an all-time quarterly high profit-wise. So Twitter's net income reached about $1 million, with a 24% year-on-year increase of about 710 million. Even though figures for monthly and daily active users are key indicators of growth, it's important to remember that roughly 50% of Twitter's revenue from quarter one of last year came solely from video ads, and that video views in general on the platform doubled in just 1 year. And some important business news from Slack. Just a few days ago, Slack announced that it has acquired HipChat from enterprise software giant Atlassian. HipChat is, or was, one of Slack's biggest competitors in the world of workplace chat solutions. It will be available until February, and then users will be migrated over to Slack. The same goes for Stride, a similar product also from Atlassian. Since Slack only purchased the intellectual property behind HipChat and Stride, it's more of a partnership between Slack and Atlassian, one that opens doors to future integrations together. So the timing of this merger may prove to be crucial, especially with big players like Microsoft giving Slack a run for its money in the corporate chat space. Teams is Microsoft's answer to Slack, and it's immediately available to more than 130 million Office Cloud subscribers. There is even a free version to attract new users. Currently, Microsoft reports 200,000 organizations are using Teams, while Slack reports 500,000 organizations using their services. And that's it for episode 15. Don't miss out on the latest updates in social media and beyond. Subscribe to The Social Recap and keep up with important changes in the world of social media and digital marketing. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye.